This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. Woo, it is a Friday, T. I don't know about you, but I'm super, super excited. Oh, my goodness. It is just a great day just to be alive. We are here, right here on ATL Day Ones, and we want to say thank you for always making ATL Day Ones your first listen of the day. And remember, we are free and available wherever you download your podcast.
Yes.
And wherever you download your podcast, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. I saw a guy who made a comment yesterday saying, hey, you guys are 5-star worthy. So, yeah, you are a 5-star worthy listener and subscriber. And if you aren't a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What you waiting on? We are on our way to 2,000, over 1,900 subscribers. We are rocking and rolling. You guys are just doing y'all doggone thing when y'all messing with us right here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Now, T, we got a lot on board for today. Whew, man, my goodness. The Braves kick it off against not kick it off. they start a series, to wrap up their road series against the Chicago Cubs. A lot of good stuff going on right there. And we got Steph Curry, did he submit his legacy last night by winning their 4th championship? And in our deep dive, we got a very, very special guest we're going to get to. We're going to talking all things NBA draft. And last but not least, and for the culture, man, the city of Atlanta we just do that. We're just gonna pop our collar for those who are on the audio, listening on the audio side. But T, we have to start off with the Atlanta Braves. They're playing against the Chicago Cubs, and one of the things that I think that for the Braves is gonna help them get that 15th win in a row and continue to remain undefeated in the month of June is that the bullpen is gonna continue to do what they do, and I think the new nickname right now is the Arm Barn. That's what they're calling themselves. It was a night shift last year, but it is the Arm Barn this year.
Yeah.
And they have some help because Colin McHugh has been activated off of the COVID-19 IL list, and the Braves are looking like they're primed and ready to keep this streak going.
Yeah, there's a saying that we have that we've heard before, which is that God gives you beauty for ashes. So I'm going to flip it and make it a Major League Baseball analogy and say the baseball angels are at least giving the Braves something when they take something from them. So they took Ozzy Albies at least for 60 days, and at least we saw some good things out of Orlando RC these last couple of games where he started at second base and has been good at the plate. Now we're getting something good back for the overall pitching staff and getting Colin McHugh back. So I love that for them. But I'm also encouraged that at least with Charlie Morton, yes, still has a high number of runs, gave up 4 runs in his last outing, but he struck out 12. So if we're keeping it positive on an amazing Friday here in the A, I'm just going to look for the positive for Charlie Morton. And I'm also going to look for the Braves to keep giving him the run productivity that they've given him that has them at the top of the majors and on the cusp of creating some more Braves history in that now they're going to do something that hasn't been done if they get this win tonight in over 2 decades for this Braves organization, and that is get 15 wins in a row. Would love that for them to kick off this, and they should be able to, right? Because the Cubs are amongst the worst teams in Major League Baseball. We're talking about a team that is hovering at just under 20 games under 500. They're hovering right there. And also, if you think that the Braves injury list is a little long, trust, it's nothing compared to what the Cubs list is. So again, this is a team that hopefully, Jarvis, they didn't cool off on their day of rest on Thursday, but actually just gave their bodies a little opportunity to reset. And one more thing, it's going to be nice weather in Chicago this weekend. I believe it's 75 today, and it's going to be 69. So nice temperatures for them to go right in there and get some things done before they come back for a homestand that they kick off with the Giants.
You know what? This is going to be. I'm super excited because
Yes.
this is something that we've been riding for the month of June. You know, we started off with saying, "Oh yeah, the undefeated in the month of June after their first game
Right.
in the month of June." It was like, all right, you know, we got a little, little optimism there, but like it is June 17th.
Yes.
And
Still
we
having the
talking about the
same
Braves
conversation.
still not having lost a game in this month. So I think it's just something that is just super, super cool. And like I said, first pitch tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. First pitch this
Today, yeah.
afternoon. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
at 2:20. What is the businessman special they call it? I always
Yes,
mess that
sir.
up.
Yes, sir.
So the Braves will be doing it at Wrigley Field. I would love to go to a game in Wrigley Field, by the way.
Yeah.
They
Something
not
to
because they're
see.
good, but just because of
Just the
nostalgia
nostalgia.
purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of be out there and just be in the mix. And I actually really want to visit Chicago, but
Yeah. Put
that's a
that
whole
on
nother.
your bucket list. It's my
Yes.
in my top 3 cities in this entire country, boy. Loved living there. It was cool.
No doubt about it. I actually am primed and ready to make my way up there. But the Warriors are primed and ready to be the champions, the 2022, excuse me, NBA
Yes.
champions. They defeated the Boston Celtics last night, 103-90. And when you think about the conversation that we were having yesterday about all of these riffraffs talking about Steph Curry has to cement his legacy by winning the Finals MVP, I thought it was only fitting that the first question was about that, and Steph said, "We won 4 championships.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that." I
That.
absolutely love it.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He was on one, and rightfully so. And listen, we all knew that he wasn't going to have another game like his game 5. We knew that. I thought
Right?
really
Yeah.
his body probably just hadn't recovered from that amazing game he had and what he had to
Indeed.
put down in game 4 to get them to game 5. But it's just a couple things. And yeah, like we agreed to, there was no need to cement a legacy with an
Right.
MVP trophy or getting it done in Boston versus having them forcing a game 7. None of that. Now, granted, it helps, but it was not necessary for us to still have a conversation about Steph being amongst one of the greatest players to ever grace the basketball court. That's still the truth. Like that's still the truth. There's nothing that takes away from that. To me, this only adds to the legacy. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it adds to the legacy for the trio as well of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson coming back the way that he did, and Draymond Green having to listen to, including us here on this show, having to
Right.
listen to people say, "What are you doing?" Like Dre. And then to
Yeah.
come back and say, I know what needs to be done, and to actually get it done last night. But on that same token, I figure like this: if Steph wants to shimmy, if he wants to do a dynasty dance, I don't really care what Steph wants to do. He can do all of it, because
Right.
he earned that. But also, Jarvis, we talked about the fact that it couldn't just be Steph. It had to be a little bit of Klay. It had to be a little bit of Dre, and the others were going to have to show up on the road. And I truly think that Steph said it best. It was a team effort that unfortunately the Celtics couldn't quite get for that entire game. They got it in the first quarter. But Jason Tatum faded, and it was really like a slow fade. Other than our Atlanta native Jaylen Brown, it was really a slow fade for that entire team that led the Warriors to be able to close this thing out in 6.
And I think just to be perfectly honest, and I tweeted this out last night. It just looked like the Warriors wanted it more.
Yes,
Like
agreed.
they knew what the
I
moment
want to.
they understood what the moment was. They
Mhm.
understood what was at stake. It was like, you know what? We don't want to go to a game 7.
Nope.
We've been here before. We've been,
Yep.
in 7 game series before when the money's on the line. Like we
Hmm.
understand what this means, and I think that. When you have a guy like Draymond Green who took so much criticism in this series,
Hmm.
he out here dropping dimes. I think he had like
Yes.
6 or 7 assists in the first
Yeah.
half. So,
Yeah.
when you think about that thing, he was like, okay, I'm going to show y'all
Yeah.
what time it is. I'm
Hmm.
a Hall of Famer. Don't get it twisted.
Hmm.
7-time all defensive NBA. Yeah,
Yes.
no, yeah, that's me. That's how I
Yes.
get down. So, yeah, I
Couple with
wasn't.
his collegiate career.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's just all of the it's all encompassing when I saw the way those guys playing. I wasn't surprised at all, and all
No.
the young pups were coming along as well. I'm
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not surprised that they were doing their thing also. So it was just a beautiful thing to see, because I know a lot of people kind of feel some type of way about Steph and and Klay Thompson and the light skinned boys and all that good stuff. But I think that I love the way they embrace that. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And they
Mhm.
use that. They use that as fuel. and it's cool to see a guy like Steph Curry, who in my eyes
Yes.
is a top 15 player that I've
I
seen
can
of
agree. Yeah.
all time. Like
Yeah, I
forget
can
all
roll
that.
with that.
Yeah, so
I can roll
when
with
you
that.
talk about somebody who has changed the way people play the game,
Yes.
like he opened the door for guys like Trae Young, to be okay to take the shots from half court. He's done that type of stuff. When you have guys like that, they have to be in that top part
Yes.
of the conversation of who's some of the best to ever play that doggone bad boy. But we
Absolutely. And Jarvis,
go
just
ahead.
one more thing before I know we got to wrap up, but there was a few quick nuggets that I wanted to share, but I'll try to wrap them up quickly. Going back to Steph Curry, he may not be the greatest defender, but the effort was there. There were
Yeah,
some critical steals at the end of that game that ensured that the Celtics, now we're not even giving you an opportunity to come back. And really, that game was defined by defense because if you think about it, that's where the Warriors' commitment was from, even when they were down 14-2. The commitment was there on defense. Also, you and I talked about how it's important to give flowers across the board. And low key, Steve Kerr gave flowers to the GM for the Warriors last night and how he
oh
was able to
yes,
build
oh
this
my
team, go out
goodness,
and get an Andrew Wiggins and say, hey, I know maybe you
there's
haven't
something
gotten
there.
to your potential, but I see that you could do something here, right? I see
Right.
we can fit you in. And he's been amazing at taking players in and out, bringing Andre Iguodala back, bring Kevin Durant back for that particular run. So you got to give credit to that front office as well. And Steve Kerr, can somebody just go on and throw the dude in the GOAT conversation in some way, shape, or form? And we don't throw that title around lightly. But what I'm saying is, in terms of one who is just was a critical piece in the 5 championships that he won as a player, was a
Right.
piece. And
Right.
then you switch it over to coaching. And granted, I agree with everybody. You got to give Coach Mark Jackson credit for being the initiator. But Steve Kerr was the guy that the Warriors needed to take
To
them
see
over
it
the
through.
hump.
Yep.
Now, that said, the Celtics have their guy on the sideline. They have their guy in the front office. It'll be interesting to see how the chips and the dominoes fall for them in terms of them saying, hey, what do we need to do in this offseason to get over the hump? And there's some conversation and some commentary around whether or not they'll be able to keep Marcus Smart. We will be watching.
We will definitely be watching it, and we will be having a conversation about the exact same thing. But the only thing will be difference will be we'll be talking about the Atlanta Hawks. We're gonna
Yeah.
have our very special basketball guru, our main man Deshaun Tate, will join us next
Yeah.
right here on ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and T, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta.